Okay, Assalamualaikum and good day. So welcome back to my video. This is a part 4 video for constructing a bar chart, right? So please watch my previous video, part 1, 2 and 3. So in part 1 we already looked into how to construct a simple bar chart. Part 2 we are looking into how to putting or input colors in a bar chart. And part 3 we have looked into how to make adjustment to the the element of the bar chart. So in this video we're going to look at a simple bar chart by group, and another one is cluster bar chart or group bar chart, and last is stack bar chart. So let's say this is based on the previous video. We already construct or set the data as a my data. So please refer to previous video to look at how I set my data. So let's say I have two categorical data. Let's say my data CYL. Another one is my data gear. So if you look at the table, this is what we call as 2 by 2 table. A cross tabulation table. So CYL will represent in term of by row, and number of gear is presented by column. So in bar chart, right, by group, if you want to create a simple bar chart by group, so number of gear will be represent the bar, and cluster or group by CYL, right? So to do this, we're going to use bar plot function, right? I'm going to put table my data CYL and my data gear. So if you run this one, you will get this stack bar chart. But if you want to get a cluster bar chart or group bar chart, we need to use another argument named as beside. Beside equal to true. By default, it is by false. So we need to put true. Oops. We need to put true. So it become a cluster bar chart. So next, we can input all the argument that we have learned previously, such as color. Let's say I'm going to input color. So I'm going to copy the color that I already defined before, right? And then I'm going to put names dot argument. So where I want to rename, instead of 3, 4 and 5 gear, I'm going to put 3 gears, 4 gears and 5 gears. So it should be equal to 3 gears, and then 4 gears, and last it will be 5 gears. Right, so it become 5 gears, and then I'm going to input more, where I'm going to put some legend. So to understand this color, pink color represent 4 cylinder, 6 cylinder and 8 cylinder. So I'm going to put legend dot text. So first one will be 4 cylinder, another one will be 6 cylinder, and the last one will be 8 cylinder, right? And then I'm going to put argument dot legend. It should be list size of legend 0.85, and text will be top right, and horizontal equal to true. So it become like this. And then I can also input some what we call title for this, which is main cluster bar chart showing distribution of number of cylinder and number of gear. So since this is very long, so I'm going to use \n to make it in the second line, right? Then I'm going to add the title for x-axis as lab equal to number of gear, and y lab should be, this is a frequency. So this is nice, and I can copy all the element that I already created before to adjust the axis and so on. So let's say I'm going to use this one and copy back and paste, but I need to go to do some adjustment where the y limit is until 12. I'm going to put it until 14, and then others are same as previous. Right? Okay. So next, maybe I'm going to add the text. So to add the text, label on each bar, I'm going to store this as D1. Sorry, I'm going to store this as A1. And then I'm going to use text A1 table my data CYL and my data gear, right? And then I'm going to add paste table. This is what I want to display, CYL and my data gear, right? So it will appear, oh sorry, A1, I need to run this one first, and then it will appear there. So since the value is not really well positioned, so I'm going to position this to 1, so it become, so I think 2 should be, I think 0 should be okay. Maybe we try 3. Yep, I think 3 should be okay, right? So this is because if you notice on gear 4 there are no cylinders, right? No car and no cylinders, 8 cylinders car, right? So this is how we produce a cluster bar chart, right? So let's say we want to make a horizontal cluster bar chart. So cluster bar chart also known as group bar chart, right? So I'm going to copy this one again. So maybe copy this one only, right? And then instead of horizontal equal to false, I'm going to add another one which is horizontal equal to true. So it become a horizontal bar chart, but I need to change this one to Y and X to make it synchronized, right? Maybe the position will be the I think the last will be 2 should be okay, or maybe 3. Yep, 3 should be okay lah, right? And last will be okay, 3. Okay, good. So this is how we do cluster bar chart, right? So next, this is for frequency value. Let's say I want to create a cluster bar chart with aggregate data. Means that I want to display for y-axis, instead of frequency, I want to display mean of MPG. So what I can do is bar plot. So I'm going to use the equation and the formula, my data. Maybe previously we have done for CYL only. Maybe this one I'm going to use my data to my data. So this is grouped by, I'm going to create aggregate data. So CYL and gear, right? And then I'm going to summarize mean MPG equal to mean MPG and missing value remove equal to true. So if you look at my data 2, so I already have the aggregate data for CYL and gear for mean MPG, right? So the same, we are going to use the same step, right? Bar plot my data 2 mean MPG, right? I'm going to add my data 2 CYL plus my data 2 gear, right? So I'm going to put names dot argument, sorry, names dot arg equal to C3 gear, and then 4 gear, and last is 8 gear, right? And then for the next step, I'm going to copy all the information that we already did before, right? I think until this one. So X lab is, this is going to be Y, X and Y. So Y will be mean of miles per gallon, right? So now this is happened because we did not specify beside equal to true, right? Okay, so why this happened, because I just copied this from previous frequency bar chart. So the limit is until 14, so I'm going to remove it until 35 maybe. Should be okay. Okay, 35 should be okay. And then I think the next step is I'm going to use color. This one don't have any color, so I'm going to add here color equal to brewer dot Paul names, so n equal to 3, names equal to maybe pastel 1, pastel 2 should be okay, right? So I've already colored the graph. Okay, so I think this one should be okay. Let's say I want to add another space, maybe this is too close to each other. I'm going to add some space for bar, maybe 0.4 and 2.5. 0.4 means that each bar for this group 0.4 and the space for each cluster is 2.5, right? Should be look like nice, right? So this is how we construct a cluster bar chart, right? For stack bar chart, right, it's simple. Instead of stack bar chart, instead of putting beside equal to true, I'm going to replace true equal to false, right? So it become a stack bar chart. But again, the limit are exceeding, so I need to remove from 735 to maybe 70 should be okay. Yep, 70, maybe 75. Yep, 75 should be okay, right? I think that's all for stack bar chart. And then I'm going to remove the space because I'm no longer need the space. Okay, so this is a simple stack bar chart based on mean mile per gallon. So I hope you got something to learn from my video for this 4 series video on constructing a bar chart using base R package. So that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.